If you could have a drink with anyone in the theater world, who would it be? I'm Anthony Caporale, and I'm running through my list. Each week, I'll sit down with cast members, bartenders, and personalities from New York's theater district and get a behind-the-scenes look at what it's like to live, work, and play on Broadway. Come have a drink with us on Broadway Bartender. Welcome to Broadway Bartender. My name is Anthony Caporale, and we are here at New World Stages in the heart of Manhattan's Theater District, home to my shows, The Imbible, A Spirited History of Drinking, and The Imbible Day Drinking. Today we're starting out with a cocktail called Courting Two Sisters. And if you've watched the show before, you know how this works. So I'm going to make it first. I'm going to introduce my guests. So I've started with a mixing tin, about halfway full of ice. And this is a vermouth drink. So I have some Antica Formula sweet vermouth and some dry vermouth. And I'm going to do about 1 ounce of each into the tin. And then I'm going to shake this up really, really well. So I already have a really nicely balanced drink. And for those of you who may not be familiar with vermouth, it is what's called a fortified wine. And fortified means strengthened with additional alcohol. So they make wine and then they add alcohol back into it, and that preserves the wine. Vermouth was originally created by countries like Italy, Spain, France to be exported on ships. And so it had to survive long periods, not refrigerated, and that alcohol would strengthen that wine. Then they also added spices and roots and all kinds of different things to flavor that vermouth up. So very, very popular drink back in the day before we had things like refrigerated cargo ships and railroads and airplanes and things. And it is making a big comeback now. And so I'm going to now strain this into my martini glasses, and I'm going to top it with just a little bit of absinthe, which is anise flavored. And that works really, really well with all the florals in the vermouth. And then I'm going to garnish it with an orange peel, and I will just take the zest side of the orange and just run it around the rim and just give it a little pop over the glass. And I'm going to do this one up here so you can see what happens when I actually pop that orange peel. You see all those oils, and you want those in the glass. So just a little bit of a rim and then a pop over the top, a little bit of the rim and then a pop over the top. And I am going to serve this to my special guests this week, the AYERS Sisters, Becca and Heather. AYERS, ladies, welcome.
Thank you
to
so much.
Broadway Bartender.
Thank you.
So are you vermouth fans? Say no, because nobody is. I wouldn't believe you said you were. No. Give us a little taste and see what you think. Let it get on the nose a little bit too, because you got all those beautiful orange oils on the nose.
Oh my God. Wow.
That's delicious,
terrific.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Say the name of it again?
It's called Courting Two Sisters.
Courting Two Sisters.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I think it was talking to two sisters at a bar, right? That's about as close as it's gonna get.
Yeah.
So,
I love it.
Yeah. Nice. What I love about these drinks is tons of flavor in vermouth. Tons and tons of flavor. And it's not very high in alcohol.
Really?
Yeah, vermouth is relative to spirits because it's a fermented drink that has a little bit of alcohol added to it, relatively low in alcohol. So great day drink. You can have a couple of those with lunch in the afternoon on the beach, and it's not going to mess up your night. You're not going to end up at like 6 o'clock at night going, I can't go out anymore.
That orange is perfect.
You like that?
I do.
It goes down
Good.
so smooth.
So, I am so excited to talk to you ladies.
We're excited to talk to you.
Amazing, amazing story. So I want you to tell our viewers all about how you got started and these wonderful careers that you have crafted together off Broadway, on Broadway, all that great stuff. Who wants to start by telling me who was first? Let's do that. Who was first to break into the theater world and say, I love this?
Well, I was the firstborn.
Okay.
But she probably broke into theater first. And I'd say we got our start because our dad wanted to be a drummer when he was growing up. He had to do something practical.
Yeah, what was your dad's practical?
Occupational therapy. He also took tap lessons when he was a kid. Yeah, we're from the Midwest, so that was a pretty big deal for a dude to take tap lessons. He's still in touch with his female dance partner, by the way. And my mom, her exposure to musical theater was she had two sisters, and they would clean every Saturday and listen to albums of musicals. So they would sing at the top of their lungs while they're scrubbing the toilet, la la la. And that's how I think we got infused with music and the love of it. My mom still knows all the words to every single musical theater song that comes on.
Do you know how many times I hear that story from people when I ask how they got started? It's from being a child and having the albums played in the house.
Yep.
That's what did it for me.
Right.
Superstar, Godspell, just all the classics in the day over and over and over again, and you want to be that.
That reminds me, Becca used to listen to Grease, and she'd sing the part that was da 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 da, and I'm getting lots of tit grease. Like, when she was
really dirty. The chicks will cream.
She was so young.
Grease is filthy.
I was like 5. It's filthy.
Yeah, people don't know that. People have only seen like the Travolta thing, and then they see the actual musical. Like,
Can I
this
say
is filthy.
Is that
It does a
allowed?
lot of difficult subjects.
Yeah, I know. And I did it in high school, junior high school rather.
Who'd you play?
I was Kaneki.
Of course.
Yeah, I
you
was
were the
Kaneki.
cool guy.
Yeah, I was a cool guy.
I love it.
And yeah, no, anyway, so yeah, filthy show. But okay, so go ahead.
So what was it? Was like
Yeah.
Grease, Annie, and Barbra Streisand, probably.
She did. Well, my dad then ended up doing theater with us, and so we were like a theater family in Great Bend, Kansas, doing community theater at the Barton County Community College. And my mom never wanted to be on stage, so she was always backstage doing anything else, costumes, props, what have you. And so, yeah, I saw the two of them in shows before I was in shows. They did Annie Get Your Gun together, you and Dad, and then...
With your dad? You did a show with your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Oh, yeah, we have a Fiddler on the Roof picture. We did Fiddler on the Roof. That was my first show, and oops, that was my first show. And,
Sound guys
it's
going
like I
on.
don't really
Hello.
drink much, so I'm already. But yeah, this is bad for me because it'll get me drunk.
No, this is good. Look, it's got
Like,
orange in
so
it. It's
smooth.
fruit.
So we were like a Fiddler on the Roof family in Anatevka. It was like he was the dad, we were the daughters, tradition, and then my mom was backstage. But yeah, we were all doing the shows together. Yeah.
This is the Fiddler one.
And yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And I
That
always
is amazing.
Actually, this probably
At
looks
age-
good with
Is that what you like that?
the drink in there.
So that's my dad. There's Heather. There's me. And I was Little Havala. I did the Little Havala dance. And Heather always remembered all my dances for me because I couldn't remember them.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, and I always felt like we were supposed to be sad because we had to leave Anatevka. And I was always, and every picture we have is me looking,
like
crying. Fake sad because I wasn't that good of an actress, but I just knew that you were supposed to be sad. And I was annoyed that everyone else was not being sad with me because if you're in costume, you have to be in character, is what I thought.
She still does that.
Yeah, I still do that. Yeah. Without realizing it.
So how did we get, because there are many people that just would love to do one off-Broadway show in their life. You have both of you from the same family with these wonderful long careers. How does this happen?
I think it helped that we had each other.
Yeah.
Like I said, she really started theater first, and she would be like, let me at it, and like just sing all the time, and I would be the one that was like, oh, I don't know if I want to turn in my form yet, and I'd be the last one, but she sold me on it, and she was Leeds in high school, and we both went to the same university and got degrees in theater, and then we both just tried. You know what I mean? Like we both moved to Kansas City, and I got my equity card there, and then we both moved to New York, and we lived together.
Yeah, we did. We lived together on
place.
42nd Street across from Port Authority.
Oh, you gotta be
fourth floor
kidding.
walk up.
This is like...
right when it was still a little sketchy.
Yeah.
You know, with like syringes on the stairs and prostitutes around the corner. Right before they were Giuliani was making the laws about if you're going to have a porn shop, you have to sell Doritos.
Right,
Was that the
all
law?
good stuff. Yeah, I think so.
Something
I think it was
like that. I think that was
yeah,
kind
but
of
you
it.
could afford to live down there at that point, though.
Yeah.
Or you could afford to sleep down there, whatever. I don't know if you
Yeah.
call it living. But that's awesome.
Yeah, it was
But it
amazing.
helped. It helped to have someone that was doing the same thing, you know, getting up at 5 a.m. and going to stand online at the Equity Building, and you know, we encouraged each other. You know, we were both in our rooms warming up for the same audition, and you know, trying to get agents and just pounding the pavement. And
So let's go right to, I want to come back to that, but let's go right to, so our viewers understand the context here. Give me a quick little curriculum vitae for you guys both. Give me some Broadway and off-Broadway shows. Go.
Let me see if I know yours.
Yeah.
South Pacific.
Broadway?
South Pacific at Lincoln Center, Broadway.
Wow, okay, cool.
Les Mis. I saw her go on for Madame Thenardier. She was incredible.
Wow.
Don't tell me. Avenue Q, which is here.
Yes, it
Plug,
is.
plug.
Yeah.
And, oh, don't tell me. Tell me.
Adam's Family.
Adam's Family.
Adam's
Yeah.
Family.
That's
wow.
hers.
That's impressive. Okay, can you do hers?
Yeah, and her debut was Young Frankenstein. She understudied Megan Mullally and Andrea Martin, and did I get to see you going for that? Anyway, she was
You
fantastic.
probably saw,
Yeah. Yes, I did for sure. Saw you going for Megan Mullally, and she did On a Clear Day You Can See Forever. She did A Little Night Music and Groundhog Day.
Wow, we had them on.
Yeah.
Travis and Michael
Yes!
and
They were amazing.
Aren't they great?
Yeah, they're great. I still haven't seen that show. I need to go see it.
Michelle. Well, you have 3 weeks?
Yeah, I'm going to get there.
Yeah, it's fun. You'll love it.
Awesome, awesome. And so before that, you didn't obviously just come right to New York and start doing Broadway.
No, I
Or
worked,
did you?
I worked regionally for about 10 years, and it was very validating when I finally did get on Broadway, because I remember doing regional shows and the younger kids saying, well, how do you make a living? And I'm like, I do make a living in theater, it's just regionally, so once you do Broadway, people recognize that, you know. So then my Broadway debut was Avenue Q, and actually I ended up doing it off Broadway here for a while, so I've worked in this theater as
You
well.
worked in New York Stages?
Yeah,
Isn't
yeah,
it great?
yeah, it was
so
awesome.
The best staff, the best theater. They're unbelievable.
Yeah,
It really is.
great group of people too.
Yeah.
And and so then once I got on Broadway, I was lucky to work steadily for about 10 years. But yeah, it took me a while.
So you debuted first, or you debuted first?
I think you were first.
I guess I was, yeah, because then you did your debut was Young Frankenstein,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
And what was the time frame in between? How
It
long?
was a little bit of a
I
while.
think so. Yeah, I had a lot of catching up to do.
And you were working regionally at the time also?
I was, yeah. I actually liked working regionally. New York is hard.
Yeah, it is.
So it was nice to sublet, if I can say, my apartment and go out of town and be in a new city and do a show that I enjoyed, you know, and then
Yeah.
come back and be refreshed, ready to fight in New York again.
Right. One of the things that I love to bring to the viewers here are these stories of folks that have, I don't like to use the word make it, because that's a hard thing to say. Like you said, you can be on Broadway and then the show closes and you're like waiting tables the next day.
Exactly.
And you've done Broadway. But people who have put together working careers, to me, that is like the hardest thing to do and the ultimate. And I think it's not intuitive a lot of times. I mean, you mentioned, for example, like you can live and work in regional theater and you can pay your rent.
Yeah.
And that's a valid thing to do that I'm not sure a lot of people, you know, everyone wants to get off the bus to New York and, you know, be in, you know, Phantom the next day or whatever it is they want to do. So talk to me a little bit about these regional experiences. What did you learn? What was, you know, were you able to pay your rent and be a working actor?
I think
At
you
the
just learn a good work ethic. You know, you just, you're doing it for months at a time, and you're just learning the process. You know what I mean? You're learning how to step up and do it day in, day out. Do the 8-show-a-week grind, you know?
Right.
Yeah, which is hard. Like, I don't think people realize, you know, what it means to do 8 shows a week. It really is your life.
Yeah, and 8 shows a week at the ticket prices that they charge. You know, I know people who have leads in Broadway shows that literally don't speak when they're not on stage.
Totally. Yeah.
When you're in, you know, a vocal role. It's tremendously difficult.
Yeah, very physically and vocally challenging.
Yeah.
You just gotta sleep sometimes.
I sleep a lot. Yeah.
So did you get, now the other thing that's interesting to me is this is an incredibly competitive business. I know roommates that don't tell each other when they're going on calls because they don't want them showing up, right? Especially if they're the same type. Did you guys ever, I mean, do you type the same? Were you competitive? I mean, how does that work?
I mean, my dad said to me kind of recently that he thought the reason we both did so well is because of the competition between us. But, oh, you didn't? You didn't know? But I mean, she, being the firstborn, which I guess I'm allowed to say, because sometimes I look older, and it's okay for people to think that I'm older.
As long as they don't know how old.
That would make me. But so what was I talking about?
Dad.
Yeah.
The competition. That he said
Yes,
it made
but
it.
she's always so supportive. I mean, when I was born, she automatically was a second mom to me, and always was very maternal anyway. And so,
Sorry.
no, like it was good. Always very protective, and And so she's always said that if I got something, she'd be more joyful about me getting it than about her getting it. And so that was a good thing she taught me, because I think being the younger sister is always trying to keep up was probably more competitive. And so
And we
just push each other to be better. And we're very different, even though we are both
what I
white,
was
certain
gonna say.
age, you know, than we do often sometimes. And she has lived in LA when she's not doing Broadway here. So she'll come visit sometimes, and we'll both be, she'll stay with me, and we'll be warming up in my studio apartment for the same show, for the same audition, you know. And that's when we can't talk about stuff, only because we end up kind of sometimes making the same choices.
Yeah,
like
I would think.
accidentally, we went into an audition for some regional William Finn show once, and we both had to sing the same song, and I think maybe they told you or me, whoever went second, like, oh, your sister cried at the same time. Remember?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So,
Well, and
but
now
otherwise, we
we're-
really help each other, and she's so good. Like, I always think she would be a really good director too, because she always comes to my shows that I'm in, and
Always
and I
lots
always
of
want
notes.
I always want her advice. But they're good notes. They're like you know, questions, and she has a real good knack. You've just always been good at, maybe because I am the younger sister, and because you remembered my dances for me, and you know,
Beck.
yeah.
And we're really different types now, because Becca is starring in Fun Home in Virginia. So she just got a dye job.
Yeah,
Really?
I forget that my hair's like this, but yeah, I'm doing Allison Bechtel at Virginia Rep. So I took a bus overnight last night to come see you. And
thank you so
yes,
much.
of course.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
so thrilled to do this, and to say that Virginia Rep is one of the first theaters doing Fun Home, one of the first regional theaters.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're in the middle of
My
that.
mom
and-
calls
Great
it Fun
theater.
House.
Yeah, sure.
It's like, it's kind of far from Fun House, Mom.
Yeah.
Stands for funeral home. The opposite.
Wow. And so, do you have anything ongoing now? Or anything coming up?
Well, if we're teaching people how to survive in this business,
We are always. That's what I always am doing.
like you said, you do your own stuff a lot. So Becca branched out from musical theater into writing her own music.
Oh, thanks. Good segue.
And I branched out into doing videos. I play this character, which is my mother. She starts every text message and email to us with, "Good morning, dear." And so I play my mother, and I read real emails that she has sent me, and I find them very hilarious.
Yeah, they're really funny, because she's the most sunshiny person you could ever meet in the world.
And you
even
need
if
that in New York.
even if the house is falling apart, you know.
She finds the positive.
You know, the lawn caught on fire, but it was okay, like
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
literally.
Like, it's usually, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't happen to have one that you could do like a little snippet
Oh,
for
yeah,
us right
yeah.
now?
Oh God, this is so
remember?
helpful. I do.
I know, right?
Good morning, dear. Say, they took out the tampon dispenser at your dad's work, and we have lots of extra tampons now. Would you like some tampons? Would you like me to bring you some tampons the next time we come? I love you, dear Mom.
And these are real emails.
These are real.
This is
She said
hysterical.
tampons like 57 times.
Wow.
That's funny. I didn't know that one yet. Is that a new one?
How do we find this? What's the series?
They're on Funny or Die, and they're called Good Morning, Dear.
Oh,
and
awesome.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
under Heather Ayers, no space. And I also have some how-to videos. How to put on your Spanx.
Very good. How to pee in your Spanx.
How to pee in your Spanx, right.
Yeah.
Becca sings the theme song to that. I have how to turn your handbag into a doggy bag. And the last one is how to exercise when you're in the bathtub.
That's my favorite one.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
Okay.
She's really good at doing characters, which always really impresses me.
I think you are.
Thanks. Well, but she's such a good studier, is that a word?
Imitator.
It is now.
So she never has walked around the house like, you know, doing impressions. And so when I go see her in a show, I'm like blown away, because I'm like, who is this person? Like when I saw you in The Women, and she was doing her like Rosalind Russell impression, or it wasn't even Rosalind, it was your own oldie-timey character, but
Thanks.
she always like really blows me away
I
when she
think
does
you
it.
lose yourself in characters.
No, you.
Yes,
No, you.
no,
No,
you.
yeah. But that, I think that's part of the reason the Good Morning, Dear, and it's a good lesson for people to just keep doing your own thing, because it's part of the reason I think she got Groundhog Day, because I think they had seen that character, and it's and she kind of bases that character that she does. She plays Mrs.
Lancaster.
Lancaster. who owns the bed and breakfast. So yeah.
Should I let her say it or should I say it?
Yeah,
It's like an improv game. We'll say it together. And
Bed and
shoestrings.
breakfast.
Oh no,
Oh.
I guess sorry. Yeah, that's finished.
But to answer your question, you'd start doing your own stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Because you know that.
Because it's really
Yeah.
important. Yeah,
Love
it's really
people.
important.
Because
You
you've
have
got to cultivate your creativity, and if somebody's not going to pay you to do it, you do it yourself.
Yeah, if you have to wait for someone else to give you a job, it could be a long wait.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then you're also advertising yourself.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Absolutely.
that's what's good about the digital platforms these days that we can have.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. Okay, so now, in addition to acting, you're both singers
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
and dancers also?
Ish.
You were very passionate about
we
the singers.
started-
Absolutely.
we
But
started
you
as
mentioned dancing.
dancers.
Oh, look.
Yeah.
All right. That is phenomenal.
Yeah.
There we go,
That
next
likes
to the
to
martini
drink with
glass.
Yeah, that was
That is
actually our
fantastic.
dance teacher, Carol Morrison, Great Bend, Kansas. She's really the one who got us auditioning for the musical theater shows at the college, at the community college.
And she would, not only did we started tapping, and then if you were good enough, as you got older, you got to do some jazz. But she would make us sing too in dance recitals. So we got exposure to that side of the business as well, which I don't know if a lot of dance schools do that.
That's true.
Becca was a belter like right away. She was in Annie, like she was amazing. So she would sing songs like "Be My Little Baby Bumblebee" or like "Oh You Beautiful Doll" or something like that. And do you want to tell them this part?
You want me to do my impression of you?
Yes, that's how this works.
What was that? Light the candles. She was very shy. Get the ice out, roll the rug out, though it may not be anyone's birthday. And I was like, oh, it's all the year.
She was the natural singer, is what the point
It's just
is.
because I was the little sister, so I was like,
Look at me,
look at me, look at me.
look
Yeah.
at me.
And I always wanted to do what she was doing, and
I just had this vision of like what the holidays must be like at your house. with you.
crazy fucking mess. A lot of noise.
Heather's like, I'm gonna do every interview with a drink in my hand from now on.
Because I mean,
think I
like,
found it.
I literally just got back from a beach trip with a bunch of friends with kids, and of course they had to put on a show, and they're good. Like they're doing like ballet and stuff, and it was great. But what were your shows? I can't imagine what like
Tell about
two
the letter
future
you
Broadway
received.
stars in the same.
Oh, yeah, we found a letter once that said, Heather and I are doing a show in 10 minutes in the basement. You have to come. Yeah.
Our dad put a dance studio in our basement.
I mean, our parents were amazing. Like
Oh,
that,
wow.
yeah.
Put up a bar and mirrors.
Wow.
We were so lucky. We
were
are
so
so lucky.
we
Our
are,
parents
yeah.
are incredible.
Yeah, that's
are.
well. I mean, and obviously, a love of theater.
Oh my
They
God.
do love theater,
You know, he's in the shows with you, so
Yeah.
that's
Dan
fantastic.
stole it.
Yeah, he
We
loves
love it.
telling. He loves telling a story in Annie when he
Oh, yeah.
went from a cop into an apple seller into a cop, and his quick change, and she wanted me to tell you the story
Oh,
about
yeah.
how we also used our dog in Annie, our dog Bogey, who was white. So my mom colored him with a magic marker, a brown magic marker, because she couldn't find anything that would stick.
Right.
So she ended up just coloring him.
So
with
he was
Interesting.
Sandy.
I don't know if that. Yeah, I don't know.
I
if she-
hope that
he
that's not-
survived.
Oh, good.
Oh, he's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
He got an act too.
Okay, so I
And
have.
this. Oh, one more.
No, please.
This is my favorite because.
Oh yeah.
You know, as I'm the more butch one of the sisters, and I get to go back to being a little more butch and fun home. I often played boys, and Heather and I played opposite each other in this melodrama called Only an Orphan Girl. She was my wife, and I was the villain.
Oh, that is
in that.
awesome.
Yeah, I loved playing dudes.
She was a good
Wow,
dude.
really?
Yeah.
Good dude. She's a good dude, your sister.
Yeah.
Like-
She was Oliver in Oliver.
Really?
Was that the first time you had to cut your hair? Change your hair?
Probably.
Well, now I got to
Annie?
ask you, have you done Peter Pan?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
I
She's
should, right?
so tall.
Oh, right. You can't play like a little boy. Got it. Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
So, can I? Any chance I could get you guys to do a song for us here in Broadway Bartender?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Love it.
All right,
Thank
cool.
you.
I think I see a guitar over there. You want to
Yeah.
head over?
Let's see how it's doing.
This is Very Romantic by Becca Ayers.
I would like to meet sometime. Get some coffee, get some sushi, get some closure on the once I was in love. If you wanna meet, I'll see more skin is showing on your forehead, and I'll smile behind my menu, and I'll try not to smoke. Or I'll pretend I'm late for my matinee. Just up and disappear, just run away. Check out my parlez-vous français, 'cause I'm very romantic that way. We met on all the tunnels and the swing sets, 'cause there wasn't any place for us to make out, not at your house or mine. You got me thinking marriage, put your sandwich down, your motorcycle fingers move together, I was you and was I'll pretend I'm late for my matinee. Just up and disappear, just run away. Check out my parlez-vous français, 'cause I'm very romantic that way. We talked about our fathers and smoked Marlboro Reds. You told me you'd be happy just to die for me, or just to simply die. When we met the last time was so much younger. It was before the skyscrapers. You said Roxanne was your theme song all day. Your hands were soft from fleshy rodent chemicals. You had a crooked finger and you still do. I suppose you still do. Oh, I'm guessing here, but why wouldn't you? Yeah, I'm guessing here, but why wouldn't you? Yeah, I'll pretend I'm late for my matinee. Just up and disappear, just run away. Check out my parlez-vous français, 'cause I'm very romantic that way. I'm very romantic, I'm very romantic. You think you're romantic, but I'm more romantic. Romantic, romantic.
Awesome! Oh my God, very romantic. Heather and Becca Ayers. Thank you
Anthony.
so much.
Wonderful.
You guys feel like making a drink?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah?
it.
It's perfect.
Let's do
I
it.
feel like I'm asking you to do a lot of work. Like you're playing songs, but
She can make the drink.
all right,
I'll do it.
let's go.
I'm in.
Let's do it.
Ow. Ow.
So Heather, I'm going to have you step behind the bar. Becca, you can just
Yeah.
come right back into your seat here. And now, I believe, if I read correctly, you spent some time in Missouri growing up,
Yeah.
yes? By the way, is it Missouri or Missouri?
What do you think?
I say Missouri, but a lot of people there say Missouri.
They do.
A lot of people
Okay, so that's
from
kind
there
of a thing.
say Missouri.
All right,
for
so
sure.
we're going to do a Missouri, whatever, mule. All right,
Love
and so
it.
yeah, it's a variation of a Moscow mule, not really, but it's called a Missouri mule.
Wow.
So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so you have that mixing tin, the metal mixing tin right
Okay.
there. Go ahead and fill it about halfway up with ice from
Okay.
the ice bin right there. Fantastic. And we're gonna start with some bourbon. Now, have you bartended before?
No.
Good.
She
It's my
makes drinks. So.
favorite. It's my favorite. So in bartending, we count in order to figure out how much liquid's going in the drink.
Okay.
And each count is about a ½ ounce.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with the bourbon, and I want you to do, which is this maker's mark right here. Yeah, and you're just gonna turn that bottle straight upside down. Yeah, you like that?
I do.
Good. And you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and you're done. Fantastic.
Yummy.
Now, the bottle right behind it is Applejack, and that is American apple brandy, and you're gonna do 3 of that.
1, 2, 3.
Great. And then we're gonna do Cointreau, which is orange liqueur.
Yummy. I love our orange theme.
Yeah, and same thing, 3.
Love it. 1, 2, 3.
Beautiful. So now we got some bourbon and some apple brandy,
Okay.
which are not sweet at all. We have Cointreau, which is sweet, and we wanna balance that with some bitters, so we have Campari. And we're gonna do 3.
1,
Fantastic.
Awesome.
And we always like some citrus in our drink, so we're gonna do lemon.
Great.
And go ahead and take that lemon and just squeeze it right over the drink. Yeah, exactly. And if you tilt it on about a 45-degree angle, the juice will run down the lemon and straight down the point. There you go, right into the drink. Yeah, no problem. If you're not dirty and getting your hands wet, you're not bartending. That's what I always tell people.
like that.
Okay?
I like
so you can go
that.
ahead and throw that one out.
Okay.
And we're gonna do that 3 times. So grab another one.
Oh.
You want a half of a lemon per person. Good job, yes, good job. And one more. And that last one, when you're done squeezing it, don't throw it out. Go ahead and put it in the mixing tin.
Okay.
There's a lot of good flavor, yeah. And there should be some napkins for you to, perfect! We think of everything.
Yay.
Good, so now take that mixing glass, put it in the tin. I don't want you to just...
I've never done this.
Yeah,
I'm
okay, so
excited.
you're gonna just push it down and twist a little bit. You'll feel it lock. Pull it to one side, pull
Yeah,
it all the
yeah.
way to one side. Got it?
Yeah.
Good. One hand on top of the glass, one hand on the bottom of the tin. Good, step away from the bar. Put that hand right on top so it doesn't slip out. Good. And you're gonna shake by pushing from the shoulder of your top hand to the foot of your bottom hand. And I always tell people to push to the floor.
Okay.
Push to the floor. Good! She's never done that before, seriously?
Wow.
Nice work. Seriously. Yeah, now we really want to shake it. And your fingers should hurt. They should get cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, good, good. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Yep. Right, this is like Zumba, but with alcohol.
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
That's the next show, going to be Zumba alcohol.
Yeah, I should totally do that.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Zoom bartender. Zoom bartender.
Love it.
TM. Okay.
have a new
Good. You're done. So now
Okay.
you see how there's all the frost on the tin? You can run your fingernail down the tin.
Yes, yes.
And you get snow under your fingernail. Now you know it's done. Yeah, it's cool,
So
right?
cool.
Science. Good. Now go ahead and twist that out.
This is the part I'm
Oh, okay, but I'm going to teach you how to do that too. Oh, you got it. Fabulous.
What do you
Good.
just kind of...
Yeah, you just twist it. Right, exactly.
Okay.
And then that can go upside down.
Okay.
Take this strainer and put it right on top, just like you did there. And you have 3 martini glasses. And I want you to take your finger and put it outside the tab.
Okay.
Very good. And just strain into those glasses, but don't fill any of them up. I want you to go about halfway each
Okay.
and then top them off.
So you
Okay?
make sure everybody
Yeah,
gets...
so you
that
make
sounds
sure everybody gets the right
beautiful.
amount. And you don't want to go all the way to the top. You want to go only to about a ½ inch from the
How's
top.
that?
Good. That one's perfect. So fill them all up to that level. Good, good, good. Nice
Gorgeous.
work.
Yeah.
Look at this.
I
Yeah.
think she's gonna,
Good
she's
job.
gonna quit acting and become a bartender.
It's the opposite from the normal.
Yeah.
I will quit my Broadway career and start bartending.
This is the part I know.
Yeah, so now we have to garnish it, and we
Napkin.
have
Oh.
mint. No, 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 this is all good. So yes, perfect. The cocktail napkins first. A mint sprig in each one.
Just drop...
Right in there. Yep. And done. And done. And then you put it out on the cocktail napkin, and that's how the guest knows you are finished making. Look how beautiful that is.
Gorgeous.
Look at first. You got to just.
color.
You have the beautiful, the head, the foam on top. You got the green mint, the red of the Campari. Give that a little, yeah, a little nose. You call that right?
Making drinks for us.
Oh my goodness! Thank you for making a drink for
Yes.
me.
And what is this one called?
This is called a Missouri Mule.
Missouri Mule.
Unless you live
Or
in
a
Missouri, then
Missouri.
it's a Missouri
Missouri Mule. And we
Mule.
have sisters.
Right. Courting to
According to
sisters.
sisters.
This is divine.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
That is a good drink.
Yes.
There's a lot going on in
She's
there.
gonna start with this. Because
yeah, I
this
do.
is her one. This is
Yeah,
the one she always
that's
has.
that's my baby right
good,
there.
right?
She's visiting. She makes sure that there's one of those in the cabinet for her when she comes to visit. Shh, don't tell anybody.
Yeah, that's my baby. Okay, so how do our viewers find your next in a long litany of projects?
Yes.
How do they find you? Where you're at?
You can get to everything from my website, which is BeccaAYERS.com.
AYERS.
Correct.
And I'm HeatherAyers.com.
I love it. Cool. So we can pass it. Yeah, tell us real quick about.
Oh, right. Yes. I also have 5 albums that I've self-produced. 2, one is called Lovesick. 2 with my band called Baby Goes Bang. This one, which is a live show that Heather and I did at the Beachman Theater, and then the new one that my video is Spaz Candy. So those are all on iTunes, Bandcamp, or whatever digital platform, Spotify, what have you. Just look up
love
my
it.
name, Becca Ayers. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. Heather and Becca Ayers, ladies, what a fun time. Thank you so
Yes,
much. I
this was
appreciate
awesome.
it.
You're
Yes,
amazing.
thank you, folks. You can follow us on BroadwayBartender.com. Recipes, links. Tune in next week for another great guest from the New York theater world. Drink well, drink responsibly. Cheers.
This is
good. You did a good job with it.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So we're just gonna do a quick round of pictures behind the bar with the drinks.
We are so drunk.
Whoa!
Oh no.
Huh? We're the ones that are drunk.
Drinking's fun.
Oh wait, that's his.
Yes.
I played the one of the killers, so I get in a nice sharkskin suit. They slap a mustache on me, and I'm a killer. The first time I've ever fired a gun on stage, so it's kind of crazy. Yeah,
Thrilling.
it
Actually.
is. It's pretty wild. Yeah.
Wow. And
Oh, and I play Handsome Nick.
No doubt.
I got the.
I was gonna say, man. The money maker.
Does camera get blush? Does it get blush on the red? Red. But it's and do up guy number 1.